We just won't know how. Ah, yay. Okay. Looks like we're back. Laura, can you hear us?
Green dots.
Good. Okay. Yay, you can hear me. Wonderful. Okay, welcome back. Thanks for your patience and for those who stuck it. Oh. 𝗟𝗂𝗀𝗃𝗲 said, I refreshed twice before I saw the chat. It's the way that you spelt it looks like re-stressed, which seems appropriate. I also re-stressed twice. Okay, are we back? I don't even know what happened that second time. Okay, so let's try playing a song while we're here, and hopefully we'll stay. I'm really sorry about that. But what I was saying before we lost each other the first time, or when I didn't have sound the first time, is please let us know in the chat if you have any link with Scotland, Scottish family background. I would love to hear about it. But let me play a song because we want to make sure that we do some of that today. So I'm going to start with 𝗟𝗃𝗃 song. And this is 𝗺𝗂𝘃𝗃 28 bass lap harp. Checking the levers. Good. So if you're wondering, okay, this is a bass lap harp. Why does it sound so high? And that's not the harp's fault. It's because this is a small harp version of 𝗟𝗃𝗃 song. Actually, there were some parts that I was supposed to play even higher than that. But because this is a bass lap harp, it has some extra low strings and fewer high strings than most lap harps would have. So I kind of just have to play what's in the arrangement. But there's some really nice low notes that I wasn't able to play. So it would have been cool if I could have somehow, like, maybe down here. No. Oh, trying to like make up the left-hand part, but like, I don't know. I'm going to see if there's some songs where I can add in some extra bass notes that aren't in the arrangements, because this harp is kind of like a little bit of an in-between, and it does have some nice bass notes that I don't always make the most of with small harp arrangements. But anyway, let's have a look at what people are saying in the chat. Signing in from Scotland in the Highlands. Welcome, Susan. That's so cool. And Sonda said that I look good in these colors. Thank you. Did you notice that my earrings are also matching? This is a special, what would you call this? My husband calls it my Mexican poncho, which always makes me chuckle a little bit because that's not quite how I would label it. He's like, you look so nice in your Mexican poncho. Anyway, but this is a special lamb's wool tartan one that I bought when I was in Scotland a few years ago. 𝗟𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃 says, I have a bit of Scottish blood, but I'm mostly Slovenian. 𝗟𝘃𝗃𝗏 song is actually my favorite Scottish song. Oh, it's such a classic. And if you look back on my channel, you'll see a music video we made where we had bagpipes in the beginning, and then it went into me playing the harp, and yeah, it was really fun. We used a drone, and there's beautiful views of Cape Town. That was a fun video to make. Oops, I touched the mic, sorry. My mother-in-law married in Maclean and went to their castle on the Isle of Mull. She was able to sign the family book. We love Scotland. Yay! Oh, 𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗏 is joining from Switzerland. Oh, I think it's a shawl. Yes, I would much rather call it a Scottish shawl than a Mexican poncho. Maybe it's this fringe that kind of makes him say that. I don't know. But anyway, here we are. And so what I'm going to be doing with some of the songs today is I'm going to be playing 3 different levels. So I'm not doing it with all the songs, but I thought it would be quite interesting to hear a song played at different levels. And sometimes I'm going to play the easiest one first and then get harder and harder. And sometimes I'm going to play the hardest one first and then get easier and easier. And what I'm hoping it encourages those of you who are maybe not quite ready for the hardest version, and that you will be able to hear that actually the song is still beautiful when you play the easier versions. And there's just, yeah, there's a special beauty and simplicity. And I'm also going to be swapping between 2 different harps. So I have the 𝗻◂𝗎 bass lap harp with me right now, and just over there is the 𝗺𝗠𝗀, my 𝗺𝗀𝗀 hybrid. And whenever there aren't enough strings on the 𝗻◂𝗎 bass lap harp for the version that I wanted to play, I'm going to swap it out. So we'll do 2 more songs on this harp, and then we'll do a swap. So this next one is Wild Mountain Thyme. So it'll also be interesting to hear from you. What, if any, memories do you have associated with the song? What do you think of the song? But also, did you know this song was Scottish? Because there's a couple of songs here that I actually thought, one of them I thought was Irish, and the other one I thought was English. And when Angus was doing some research to kind of do our compilation videos, he put them in a compilation of Scottish songs, and I was like, hang on a second. And then I went and did some research, and it seems like they're all Scottish. So correct us if we're wrong, but I thought some of them weren't, but here we are. And they're all beautiful songs. So there you go. Let's play Wild Mountain Thyme. So we're going to start with a mid-beginner version. So very simple and just like very open and kind of contemplative. Then we're going to move on to an early intermediate version still on this harp, and then we'll switch to mid-intermediate on the 𝗺𝗀𝗀. So that's mid-beginner Wild Mountain Thyme. Now let's do early intermediate. John Scott said, it's good to see you doing a live concert again, Christine. It is good to be here. We had a little bit of a mishap in the beginning, but here we are, and it's nice to be together. So Wild Mountain Thyme again, but with a little bit of extra. And now we're going to switch harps and do the mid-intermediate one. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't you think it's worth, well, I feel like the easier ones are still beautiful enough that you should go for the one that you can comfortably learn rather than trying to learn something that's too difficult too soon. And then sometimes that's when people become discouraged with their playing. So I hope this is inspiring you that easy versions can still be, or easier versions can still be lovely and worth learning. Okay, switching harps. I've got to get my spot. I've got little stickers on the ground to remind me where to put each harp. And let's check that I'm in the right place. Okay, so now we're going to hear some real difference all of a sudden because this arrangement has a lot of bass notes. Oh, so there is actually, 𝗟cie said, I would love to learn a version where I can sing the song to it. There is a version of Wild Mountain Thyme you can find on my channel where I was singing and playing, and there is an arrangement for singing and harp. You might be able to find it in the link of that video. I'm not 100% sure. Email us if you struggle. But I have at some point created a version that you can sing with. Okay, are we ready? Hi, Christine. I just woke up to see you live. Glad you're doing Scottish music. I only have a 22-string harp, so having to downsize all my music. Yeah. Well, many of our arrangements are possible to play on 22-string harp, particularly if it's C to C 22-string harp. If it's F to F, I need to do a little bit more tweaking. But yeah. For the Love of a Princess. So this is not a Scottish traditional song. This is from the movie Braveheart. And I'm just going to do one version of this song, the early intermediate one. And yeah, I think I'm sticking on this harp, right? Yes, I am. Okay. And let's make sure I'm ready for my page turn. Good. There we go. Does anyone, is anyone a particular fan of Braveheart? I should probably watch it again. I have watched it at some point, but it was quite a few years ago. And I can only remember it very slightly. but this is a very beautiful piece of music. And I was thinking, I would love to hear what you think. I was thinking that this song, For the Love of a Princess, would go so well played straight after the Wild Mountain Thyme, because that's kind of the beginning of this next song. So it would make quite a cool medley. Okay, we're ready. Okay, I've got to read this comment from Susan Berry. Oh, there we go. Someone said, what is it? 𝗟cie𝘃𝗲 𝗦𝗰. Oh, cool. Love your tartan shawl. There we go. It's not a Mexican poncho, it's a tartan shawl. Susan Berry said, thinking about your shawl, in the 19th century, as they wore the cloth, it was then washed. Women would sing Gaelic songs, and there was a rhythm. An amazing museum on the Isle of Lewis has an exhibition. Yeah, there's all sorts of different styles of Gaelic songs for like for washing things or for weaving, I think, but there's certainly ones for like while you're walking as well. And I think actually walking, 𝗂𝗂𝗀𝗃, is a type of song as well, walking songs. And I don't know if that was washing or if it was to do with weaving. There we go, walking wool. Is that the washing wool? Yes, walking songs. Okay, yes. So were they walking songs and also walking songs? Or am I confusing those in my head? I clearly don't know a lot, but I used to sing quite a lot of Gaelic songs, but I'm definitely not an expert on the topic. I think we're going to switch back to the other harp now. Oh, Victoria said I'm learning this video course right now. Yay! And Yukonon said, love Braveheart soundtrack music. Alicia said it's one of my favorites. 𝗟cie𝘃𝗲 says it's C to C triplet 𝗟cie𝘃𝗲. Okay, cool. So at least you've got that lower C. So many of our small harp arrangements are possible to play on 22 string C to C harps. So there we go. Walking songs are when the cloth was beaten and stretched. Cool. And were they also songs that you could play when you're walking with your legs? You have to tell me that too. Got to move to the other harp. Is it this spot for that harp? Is that right? Oh, the first. Thank you. Oh, yes, that makes more sense. Okay. So we are now going to do, there we go, walking, and they walked too. Thanks, Susan. Woo. Okay, 𝗟𝘂𝗻𝗰. All right, so this is a beautiful spot, but it looks very different depending on the day when you go. And my mom and I drove past 𝗟𝘂𝗻𝗰, and somehow we must have brought the sunshine from South Africa, because we did not have a lot of mist and rain in Scotland. And when we saw 𝗟𝘂𝗻𝗰, it was very clear and sunny, which I don't think is a common experience. Yes, this is the 𝗺𝗀𝗃𝗃 harp. This is the 𝗺𝗀𝗃𝗃 28 bass lap harp. And it's got that nice, sometimes you don't always want that creaky sound, but I feel like it just feels like wood, you know, like real wood. That's just the sound of the harp on the stand. So if you hear that little creaky sound, it'll be like, real wood. Okay, 𝗟𝘂𝗻𝗰. I forgot to mention that this arrangement is a mid-beginner arrangement, so it's quite a simpler one, but I still think it's just lovely to play. And I recently changed my C string, and I hear that it has already gone out of tune. So what I actually thought would be interesting is I should play this song again and see if I can include some more bass notes. I'm going to try and take it down and show you what it sounds like when you hear some more bass notes. So let's do it. Let's still have some of the melody nice and high, and then we'll bring it down. Okay, but we're going to try and include as much bass as possible. I got confused with where the melody was going. I was expecting it to be the chorus, and it was the verse. if you really want to make the most of the bass notes on this harp, you kind of have to be a little bit flexible with adding them in and sometimes playing things an octave lower than what's written. And I thought I would do the same thing with this next song, because this is also, I want to show you what the normal mid-beginner version sounds like, and then I want to play the whole thing an octave lower. It's interesting. Oh, someone's asking for me to play on the Music Maker's lap harp. That's not even in tune. I see it over there. But maybe near the end, if we have a chance, we can like bring it in for a song. But I'm already switching between two harps, and it's kind of in another part of the room. But let's see how we do near the end. And 𝗟𝘃𝗃 says, I'm half Scottish and would love to go to Scotland. Yes, so I have a significant amount of Scottish in my family background. My mom's surname, maiden last name, was MacDougall, and my dad's mom was a Stuart. So there's Scottish in both sides of my family, but also English. I also have English on both sides. So, and a little bit of French, I think. So, yeah. This is the one that I said I thought was Irish, and that is The Parting Glass. Am I the only one? I really thought this was an Irish song. I've even sang it in Ireland. Maybe it's one of those songs where no one really knows the origin. You know, they're folk songs, traditional songs, and they kind of get passed around between different countries. But I thought that it was quite clearly an Irish song, and turns out Google thinks it could also be Scottish. I'm playing in the mid-beginner version first. It's in the key of C. And yeah, Jane was asking what key it is. I think it's really popular in Ireland and it's been played there for a long time. Yeah, maybe it's from both countries or no one really knows. That's what Angus thinks. When you were doing the research, it's like, oh, it's both. So maybe we'll play this when I play a live stream of Irish songs too. And now an octave lower. Okay, so that's the mid-beginner version, and now let's listen to the late beginner version. 𝗟cie𝘃𝗲 𝗦𝗰𝘁𝗁𝗃𝗲 is asking, what do you think of Sylvia Wood's Scottish Songs for All Harps? I'm not sure I've spent much time playing that. Susan Berry loves the 𝗟cie𝘃𝗲. The parting glass appears in Scotland in the 1600s and it became popular in Ireland. Yeah, so I think maybe the Scottish can claim it, but it's basically become also Irish at this point. And with traditional songs, we don't actually know who wrote it. It could have been an Irish person visiting Scotland. And now we're going to do the mid-intermediate version. This interestingly, well, maybe, I don't know if you'll find it interesting, but I find it interesting and I'd love to hear your opinion. So people who know this song well, The Parting Glass, for me, I've sung it since I was a teenager. I love this song. And so Carrie and I arranged this, the 3 different levels, and it was mostly initiated by Carrie with me giving a lot of input, and then we kind of end up with something we're both happy with. And I thought this is an awesome version of The Parting Glass. And out of all the arrangements we've ever created, this is the only one where somebody said, I really love this song, but I found your arrangement very disappointing. So it'd be interesting to hear from the rest of you. If you love The Parting Glass, what do you think of this arrangement? Because what I think is that probably that person just had a particular version of the song that they love, or that they had in their head, that they were hoping to hear something similar. And maybe our version was just different, because, there's so many different versions of this type of song. So hopefully that person will find another arrangement that's more similar to what they love to hear from this song. But I'd be interested to hear from the rest of you. When I play this mid-intermediate version, does it sound like what you hear in your head? I'm just going to swap harps. Oh, Lulu says, I hope so badly I can get a harp. Yay, I hope you can too. I don't think you'll regret it. Hopefully it's possible for you. Okay, so mid-intermediate, The Parting Glass. Disappointing arrangement or nice arrangement? It's up to you. It's all a matter of opinion. Trying to get myself comfortable at a different harp suddenly. So with changing between the two harps, I did miss the very beautiful harmonics. So it's very much, harmonics are very much based on the height. Exactly, you have to know exactly the right spot, which is going to be different on each harp. And when I should have probably not changed harps just before a piece with harmonics. So let's play that part again just so you can hear, because it sounds so nice with the harmonics. Let's hope I get it this time. So that's what it was supposed to sound like. All right, so let's see what is happening in the chat. What was the difficulty of that first version? Maybe the key on parting glass is not a good key. It's a that's interesting. Maybe the key is not a good key. It's a beautiful arrangement, Donald thinks. Paula thinks it sounds gorgeous on the music maker's harp. Higher up on the strings may be the difference. Not sure if those chords are sevenths or ninths. I like how it added a wistful emotion to the arrangement. I also like that. So are you talking about this part? Or the... or maybe it was this. It's quite a lot of seventh notes there. The song is in a film called Evelyn, sung by Pierce Brosnan. I've yet to see the film. Your song is a true rendition. Thanks. Cool. Interesting things happening in the chat. Okay, so let's keep moving. We've still got a couple more songs that we wanted to play. How are we doing for time, Angus? Do you have to run away in a couple minutes, or can we keep going?
That's fine.
I also like how when you add seventh notes into a chord, it just makes it sound just a little unexpected and brings this lushness to it. And that's what I liked about that arrangement, is it felt like kind of close to what I normally would have heard. There's also a couple of chords that are different to what, when I was singing and playing the Parting Glass, I sang it with slightly different chords, and I quite like that change. But all of these things are a matter of opinion. Oh, what happened to my little sticker? It's stuck to my harp's foot. So let's hope I'm in the right spot still. You want to check whether it looks right? We've got little stickers on the ground to help me know where to put each harp. And the one sticker stuck to my harp's foot, so it moves wherever the harp moves. So it's not telling me anything. Oh, okay. Tish asked, you played the mid-intermediate version, but what was the difficulty? So the previous one, so I did mid-intermediate last, and before that was late beginner, and before that was mid-beginner. And now I'm doing the water is wide, mid-intermediate. So this is another one that I didn't realize was Scottish. Or is it? You can tell me, but I thought it was an English folk song, or an English traditional song. Maybe it's another both. I don't know. Maybe England stole it from Scotland and claimed it as its own. I wouldn't be very surprised with the history of the two countries. Angus is like, let's not start talking about this stuff. We don't like to talk politics around here. Well, then I should be very much outlawed because I am part English and part Scottish. Okay. Wow, that was the biggest fail of a page turn ever. Let's go back a little bit and see if we can redeem ourselves with a better page turn. Usually if you miss a page turn, you kind of just like, oh, you have to do an extra pause or something. You don't normally brush your bass string so that you let out like this toll of doom. That was quite a fun variation. What is it called? I'm going to learn it next. Yes, the water is wide. Oh, there we go. John's doing some research for us. He said, looks like the water is wide is Scottish, 𝗟ci𝘃𝗲. I think it may also be called 𝗬𝗠ly 𝗬𝗠ly. Yes, I have heard that before, but for some reason in my head it was still English. But yes, it's a beautiful tune. And let's try the early intermediate version. I think I was going to move back to the other harp at this point. Maybe we should do that. I've got to keep things interesting when I'm performing live, because there's plenty of students who think you have to be absolutely perfect before you're permitted to perform. And I don't believe that's true. It's more important to be expressive and to bring something of value to share with people. So part of that is just your harp and your presence, and hopefully you can get to the point where you can be a little bit relaxed about it, and then I think that's also a beautiful thing you can share with people. But even just I'm trying and this is something I want to do and I'm learning, I think that's a valuable thing to bring to people as well. Because it's always encouraging to know that somebody is learning and that they're doing their best. Okay, let's just check that C string that's been going out of tune. Okay. Oh, it's getting better. Yeah. Not very out of tune. Let's just make it slightly sharper, because in anticipation of it maybe going a little out of tune, I'll make it ever so slightly sharp. We'll see. Is anyone here with perfect pitch? So John was saying maybe the English did try to pinch it. Okay, so here's the last. No, this isn't the last water is wide. We're doing early intermediate one, and then we're going to do the easiest one after that. Okay. Are you tuned to C on your harps or E flat? I'm currently tuned to E flat on my 𝗟liche, because that gives me the option of doing flat keys up to 3 flats and sharp keys up to 4 sharps. But I'm currently tuning my small harps, or at least this one, I'm not sure if it's the case for all of them, to F, because I do like to have that one B flat to work with, because you're very unlikely to ever need a B sharp. But so many small harp arrangements are in the key of C, and so I like to have almost all my levers down and the strings just resounding at their best possible capacity when I'm in the key of C. So that's why I'm like in the key of C, but with B flats. Okay, so this is the easiest one I'm going to play today. This is the early beginner version of The Water is Wide, because I thought it would just be encouraging for those of you who are thinking about learning harp. This is one of the songs in our Harp Beginnings 6-week program, and it's just beautiful to hear the melody on the harp, and it's a really good way to work on your beginner technique. You just hear the melody, you don't hear any accompaniment, but it's very it's still got that lovely nostalgic tune, and it's worthwhile learning something really simple in the beginning so that you have the time to learn good beginner techniques. So let's see if we can all do an exercise in just relaxing and enjoying the melody, because that's all we're going to hear now. No, it's up here. Recently, someone commented about that Harp Beginnings program, saying that it caused me to slow way down and learn pieces that were simpler, but then by the end of the 6 weeks, they'd progressed more than they thought they would in 6 weeks. So it feels slow at the beginning when you're really getting those good habits in place, but it's so worth it, because if you can solidify good habits, then actually in 6 weeks you can do a lot more than if you were trying pieces that are a bit too difficult and not actually getting the beginner technique in place. So Tish said something about Rhythm of My Heart. Rhythm of My Heart by Rod Stewart is the same tune as Loch Lomond. Very interesting. Very similar melodically if you'd like to relate what you learn to pop songs. Cool. Okay, there we go. Susan Berry says Caledonia is lovely too. Well, that is the next one I'm going to play. So well done, Susan. I considered not playing this because I've played it at, I think, every live stream for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 live streams. But we thought, come on, you can't do a Scottish-themed live stream and not play Caledonia. So here we are. We're going to end off with Caledonia. And yeah, this song is just so beautiful. And I love the story behind it. I don't know if I should tell the story again. I probably told the story the last 4 live streams too. But the short version is that Dougie MacLean wrote this song when he was touring. I think he was in France, and he was feeling homesick, so he wrote Caledonia, and he went back and played it to his bandmates, and they all got so homesick they went home the next day. So it's turned into like a love song for Scotland, like an unofficial national anthem. And it also applies I'm not singing the lyrics today, but you can look up the lyrics, and I think it kind of applies to just being nostalgic for anything that you once loved, or a time that has gone by, or your childhood, or your mother who passed away, or whatever it is. I think this song applies to those things too. Okay. Now I need to learn it. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so thanks for being with me here. I see Victoria says, a very lovely song. I watched the video of you and your sister and brother-in-law singing it. Yes. I don't actually know whether we sang. I don't think we did. I think it was me playing harp, Cara was playing violin, and Kevin played guitar. Yes, every time I play it, I have to sing along in my head. And John said, thank you, 𝗟ci𝘃𝗲, a Scottish battle cry, Scotland forever! Additional wish, 𝗟ci𝘃𝗲 forever! Oh, that's very sweet. Well, I'm not planning to go anywhere anytime soon, so don't know about forever, but here I am today. Well, thanks everybody for being with me. It's been really fun. And now I have to go off and look after my baby who is waiting for me. And yeah, we'll do this again. In how many weeks? Probably, I don't know, 6 weeks. We're doing this about every 6 weeks or so. So make sure that you are on our email list so that you hear about it next time. And it's good to spend some time together. And I'll see you again. Lots of love. Bye.